Let's take a look at the cut length calculator, which is included with our KipwareCYC's Cycletime Estimating Software. If you've reviewed our website at all, you know that our feeling is that the length of cut, the actual time that the tool is engaged in the cut, is the best calculation for calculating the cutting time for that particular operation. Using something like volume of material being removed doesn't really accurately reflect what's happening with the tool in the cut. It's just telling you the volume of material that's being removed, but maybe the tool is doing something different inside the cut, and so the actual time that the tool is engaged in the cut is the best calculation for calculating the cutting time. It might seem like a little bit of a complicated calculation to come up with, but as you can see from any one of the operation estimating screens inside of CYC, there's a button here which activates the cut length calculator. You'll get the cut length calculator main screen to pop up on the screen, and what the cut length calculator uses is a mixture of conversational or fill-in-the-blank inputs, as well as the ability to import a DXF file to come up with the length of cut. So if we take a look at the milling operations, you can see we have things like face milling, pocketing. If we take a look at the pocketing routine here, a couple of options that you can do as far as roughing or finishing. But if I put in some inputs here, so number of cuts to take in Z, let's say 3, radius of the cutting tool, let's call it a 1/2 inch, length in the x-axis, let's call this a 10 by 5 inch pocket. We're going to leave 10 thousandths on the walls. We're going to overlap the cutter by 20 thousandths. So we've got a 10 by 5 pocket. We're going to go down 3 times. When you hit the calculate button, CLC will come up with a calculated length of cut to do that. You can copy this to the clipboard and then paste it into the CYC screen where the input is looking for the length of cut. So this is an example of how the conversational screens work, and you can see we have turning operations, so we have facing, OD and ID turning and grooving and threading. We have hole operations, so if you want to do, let's say we want to do peck drilling, let's say we're going to do 2-inch holes, let's say we're going to do 20 holes. The depth of the peck, let's call it 1/8 of an inch, and the retract is 30 thousandths. Again, simple inputs, complicated operation. The software will go through and calculate the length of cut using the peck drilling cycle or a straight drilling cycle. So hole operations, we have drilling, reaming, tapping. We also have what's called the CLC sketchpad, which gives you the ability to import DXF files. So if I open up the CLC sketchpad, we can go in and we can open up a DXF file. And let's say we want to calculate the length of cut to be able to profile or pocket this part. We can use what's called the machinist mode inside of the sketchpad. The machinist mode allows you to create a tool library. So you can create turning tools or milling tools. You can select a tool from the library. When I turn the machinist mode on, my mouse basically becomes the tool. So what I can do here is I can move the tool around the part and then calculate the length of cut based on my movement. So let's say we want to do the contour of this part. I'm going to start here. When I double click the mouse, the software will record that position, and again we're looking just for length of cut, so it's not as if we're creating a G-code program. We're just looking for the length of cut. So the movement of the tool doesn't really necessarily have to be what it would be if you were creating a G-code program. So very quickly I can just go around the part. Again, every time I double click the mouse, the software records the position of the tool. So I've completed my contour around the part. When I hit the calculate button, the software will ask me the depth of the part. So let's say I want to do this part 1/2 an inch deep. I'm going to take 50 thousandths of a depth of cut. When I hit continue, again the software is going to calculate the length of cut to be able to contour that part. So the ability to use conversational screens and the ability to import a DXF file or a sketchpad that was created with the Kipware Conversational software, you can use it inside of the cut length calculator to grab that length of cut that's needed on the operation data screen for KipwareCYC. So again, the length of cut is the most important kind of calculation that you can use to calculate the cutting time, and KipwareCYC with its included cut length calculator makes that calculation fairly simple.